Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Over the course of the past month, I've received a handful of iPad accessories to review, both cases and stands. And for a while now, I've been using the Griffin Elon Passport. This is a leather case, which I've certainly appreciated. And I'm now considering switching away from the Elon Passport, even though I can tell you I still have a coupon that you could use for any product that you buy on Griffin's website. Pirillo 886 is the current coupon code, although that changes every few months. So you may want to email me for the latest code for this or any product, really, chris@pirillo.com. I'll make sure I send you the latest. So I liked this particular case because it was unobtrusive and it allowed me to use it as a stand, and it protected the iPad fairly well. So while staying on the Griffin brand, they also sent me this particular product, the Loop for iPad, and essentially it is a stand in which your iPad sits in just about any fashion, sitting on the desk, of course. Works quite well. Should work well with some accessories for the iPad, specifically thinner cases or some kind of protective layer for the iPad, since the groove or the notch for the iPad is accommodating for, I guess, extra padding which you may have around your iPad. So there's one thing. I may very well continue to use this. Another stand that I happened to receive came from Just Mobile, and I really like this one a lot. Not only because of the aluminum finish, but that it definitely did work really well with different cases. I've had this sitting on my desk for the past few days if you've been watching the feed at live.pirillo.com, so I appreciate this particular stand for the iPad. Just my choice, and maybe not yours. Maybe you like other stands and what they happen to offer. Another stand of sorts happens to be this one, the Wedge pad. It's like a beanbag of sorts for the iPad. You can even, I know you may not be able to see that from this video angle, but you can even strap the iPad in, which I'm not going to do all the way, but then you could rest it on its back like this at an angle. I don't know. Yeah, it works well in this way as well. Realize I'm repeating myself. Either way, if you're looking for something that gives you a more relaxed look, then possibly the Wedge pad would do you just fine. A beanbag for your iPad. Quite creative, I would say. Something that I'm not likely to use on an ongoing basis, but still also very protective, came in from Hard Candy, which you may know makes a variety of cases for different mobile products. So let me go ahead and try to slide the iPad in here just to show you just how obnoxious an iPad case can be. Now, they sent me orange to review. I'm not saying that it's obnoxious for everybody, but I don't know if I could carry that around. Of course, they've accommodated the different areas where you have the speaker, the dock connector, microphone, headphone jack, etc., etc. And it's very orange. Okay, I'm going to take that off now. Very rubber, too, so if I were to drop it, I would rather be dropping it with this rather than any other case that I've used. Javo Edge, I believe, is a local company. Now, this is more of a carrying case for the iPad. So if you don't really like skins for your iPad, but you still want to protect it, Javo Edge may very well have the product for you. And by the way, we'll be sure to put links for where you can get all these products in the description for this video. So I'm not going to mention every particular link. And yes, I can try to save you money on just about any kind of iPad accessory that you want to buy. Now, Speck, let me make sure this video is still recording. Okay, it's still recording, just making sure. Sometimes I'll get all the way through this and it won't be recording. Speck had sent the see-through satin and candy shell cases for the iPad, and if you hadn't noticed, I hadn't quite taken them out of their own cases. This one looks to be interesting. This one being, I think this is the not the see-through. I guess it was the see-through satin. Oh, okay, so it is translucent. And the nice thing about this appears to be, after you've accommodated the case, you have the ability to let the product slide into, let's say, I don't have any kind of dock around, but you could keep the connector or the dock port obscured from being able to be accessed. But then you could open the flap, so if you have a dock that doesn't work well with cases, this would mitigate that issue entirely. I'm not going to slide it all the way in, but it's an interesting idea for sure. And it feels like pretty well constructed. So I guess to me, a test is, could I drop the iPad with the case on and still feel like it was being protected? Let's go ahead and look at the candy shell now. Rubberized soft center. Okay, this is it for slightly more. Oh. Plastic off. At least I don't have to cut it off. Oh, again, it has the flap lifting back, so it's protecting the dock connector port, and then allowing you to expose it if you wanted to connect it to a dock, so it'd be more compatible with a variety of docks that are out there. Looks by and large to be a slightly different design. That Speck logo is kind of big and bold in the back. I don't know if I like that as much. Still, it could very well make a good case for you if you like a clean design, and hopefully you're able to see me holding up this particular product in this video. The reason why I'm not sliding it in, because it looks like it is a tight-fitting case, much like the other Speck case, and I want to pop it out to be able to further demonstrate another case, which I have just decided is going to be my new default case, because I have a lot of iPad cases to use for a variety of situations. My new default iPad case comes courtesy of, well, hang on just a second. I want to make sure I get it right. Cyber-Acoustics. And they're in Vancouver, Washington, of all places. So I'm all about supporting local vendors. And Javo Edge, as I said, I think is also local. So what I happen to like about this particular case, and they're calling it, let's see here, iPad cover. Okay, I think it's leather, the IC1000. The material is a little difficult to read. However, that being said, this is a really awesome case for these reasons. I'm going to go ahead and slide her in. It's got a plastic on the inside where it accommodates the iPad. Slide her in there just to show you. The rubber grips hold onto it at just about any angle, and they don't cover up the speaker, any of the ports, so that's a must for me at this point. The Griffin Elon covered up some of the speakers as well as one of the ports with its hinges. This does not, and it holds it quite well in its place. So then, of course, flipping over the cover, I feel like I'm fully protected. There's enough padding around every one of the edges, so if I were to drop it, I don't feel like it would be popping out. Then, this is the primary reason why I happen to like this case. I think they're calling it the iCover. It just lists off iPad cover, IC1000. So we'll call it the IC1000. We have to work on that with them. So you can double back. It's one of the flaps and fold it into a notch that looks to be well stitched. And with that, you've got a stand for your iPad in one way or another. Of course, getting it to stand this way isn't as easy to do, but that was the same for just about any iPad case that I've seen. Either way, I can stand it in portrait or landscape mode, or I could lie it also like this, so it's easier to type on. And again, I hope that all of this is in view. If not, I'm going to have to do this video again, because I'm really trying to demonstrate the value of each one of these cases. They're all good in their own respects. It's just what I'm looking for is pretty much this. Oh, yes, and as I fold back that flap, it also has a way to accommodate my hand in a strap. So it's a very awkward position for me, but other way, I think you get the idea. That's quite nice. And then if I want to, I could also secure it in another way by folding over the hinges or straps, extra straps. So yeah, this is the reason why the iCover or the IC1000 or whatever they're calling it, cyber-acoustics, that's the reason why it's now the case that I happen to be using on my iPad as normal, because it's something I need. I need a stand that I can carry around with me. This, quite honestly, is the iPad case Apple should have designed, because the Apple iPad case is, no doubt about it, the worst case for the iPad I've ever had the displeasure of using. Don't buy Apple's iPad case. There's a variety of cases, some of which may fit your eye and others may not. Because it's not so much about fitting the iPad. They all accommodate the iPad. It's about, do you like what you see? And see, look, it just fits nicely with the stand that I was demonstrating earlier. Works quite well, landscape or portrait mode. And I like being able to have as much of the device exposed while still protecting it. Let's try it with the other stand from Griffin here. And the stand from Griffin doesn't accommodate it as well. Still, I have a little more angle than I would expect with the Griffin stand. It's just another reason why I think the combination of these two is about as good as I've seen it to date. But every week I seem to get a new announcement for an iPad or iPhone accessory, and as I've always said, I'm always interested in taking a look at what's out there in the field. My email address, chris@pirillo.com. Maybe you know of something better. Maybe you have something better. Maybe you want to design something better. Oh, look, I can even use it with the beanbag, too. That's kind of nice. The beanbag is kind of fun. I know, I'm kind of into beanbags. I don't sleep in a bed. I sleep in a beanbag. That's how much I love them. Kidding, I don't. Geeks.pirillo.com, chris.pirillo.com, coupons.lockergnome.com. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I can save you money on just about any kind of accessory that you're looking for. Drop me a line. And then, of course, we also have a chat room, typically talking tech. It's part of a live video feed going out over the web. And as a matter of fact, you can view it on your iPad or your iPhone, for that matter. At least when it's working right. Sometimes the internet connection here is not that stellar. Oh, look at that. It is working. It's me demonstrating this on the live video. See, you could have been in the chat room right now. You could have been a part of this video from the other side. Anyway, typically talking tech 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.